So moving on, we got one team left in the division, which I think is obviously the favorite for the division. You got the GOAT, Tom Brady, to run the show. I mean, they've just been a powerhouse since they got there. We're talking about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Playoff Fat Boy Lenny, who has showed up who is actually sick of the weight talk. He told everybody today to check. Somebody check the numbers or something like that. Or he's big gened is what he said today. But I mean, they're stacked. They got there's a lot of talk of this Rashad White. I've heard is actually going to get a lot of work coming out of the backfield this year. He's a guy to keep an eye on. They have Mike Evans. They just bring in Julio, Chris Godwin coming back from his injury. They're kind of easing him back in. So I don't know exactly when. They say he's going to be ready for the season, but that he's one of those guys that they just signed.
We'll see.
He's injury prone, and I hate to call a guy that or label anybody that, but he
definitely is.
It is what it is.
They signed him. They still gave him the deal.
Well, the whole thing too is that it's contrasted by the other guy who is lined up next to him, Mike Evans, who is constantly like game time decision. He's like the best and worst player in fantasy to own because he obviously when he plays, he doesn't miss a lot of games. It's just that you don't know. You don't know up until the last minute, and you can't play him like on late. You can't if Tampa's playing at fucking 3:00. You got to decide if you're going to start that guy that is going to play or if you're going to start Mike Evans. So
right. Well, the other thing about their receivers are they're so deep. Like I saw somebody talking about this the other day. Where like you look at some of the names. I mean, Mike Evans, Julio Jones, Chris Godwin, Russell Gage. Those are the guys that are going to start. They're going to get playing.
Scotty Miller.
But then you got Tyler Johnson, Scotty Miller.
Rashad
Perriman. One of those three guys are probably going to get cut. And that's they were talking about this the other day. The Browns, I'm looking at you. I would take Scotty Miller or Tyler Johnson, bring him in. Mm-hmm. Tyler Johnson was actually a Bleacher Report trade option for the Browns the other day. But they've got so many people. They got Cameron Brate, Kyle Rudolph. I mean, you get Gronk to retire again, but you go out and you get Cameron Brate's been there, but Kyle Rudolph's a damn good replacement. Good.
That's a pretty good tight end set too. Like in terms of like a tight end duo, Cameron Brate and Rudolph. Like you got Rudolph, the red zone reindeer who can catch balls, and Cameron Brate's been pretty good at blocking. So
good offensive line. Tristan Wirfs is a stud.
Well, they just lost Ryan Jensen.
Yeah, I was going to say
huge loss.
100%.
Huge loss. And they say that JC Treader. Well, he's gone for the year. Ryan Jensen's probably gone for the year.
Yeah,
they're saying JC Treader is. I don't think it's official, but they're saying that's who's more than likely going to take his spot. And if JC Treader steps in there, then
I was expecting Hainsey that they were just going to let him earn the job.
No, they're talking about bringing in JT.
I think Treader is the man. So
I wouldn't be surprised if Tom Brady called in his like own center specialist. Like he's like trade for this guy. I feel like I feel like Brady's still pulling all the weight for this franchise.
Yeah, well, I mean,
they're stacked, dude.
They're stacked. I mean, that's just the offense. I mean, you go down here to defense. Let's scroll down to defense. They've still got maybe the best linebacker in football, Devin White. Vita Vea on the tackle. You have Levante David, Shaquille Barrett. I mean, look at this team. You go down to basically
Antoine
every
Winfield,
single one of these junior.
We get healthy Vita
Logan Ryan.
I think Vita Vea, he missed a lot of time last year.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't know. Is he healthy? Is he in camp right now?
He's in camp, but
I haven't really paid a lot of attention to Tampa because I feel like they're just one of those teams where like you just know that.
Yeah, that's what I think.
You're just
Carlton
Davis.
Gonna
be there. Akeem Hicks.
Gosh.
So where do you guys see like where could it go wrong for this team? Do you think?
Well,
do you think if Tom has an injury, this team's? Do you think that's immediate season ender for them, or do you
Blaine
think
Gabbert's the backup? If Tom goes down, this
Tom
team
goes down. That's it. But I think
you're saying their whole season hinges on a 45-year-old quarterback.
Absolutely, because Tom Brady, to me, I don't think he hasn't really lost too much of a step, and we've seen what he does with people like Julio Jones when he gets an older veteran receiver like Antonio Brown, Randy Moss. He just he zones in on them, and he is going to, and he also knows that the shit that Julio's kind of gotten over the last couple of years, the Julio's never gotten a title. Like it's one of those things where, like, you got to think that Brady, being who Brady is going to take it upon himself to he's going to put the ball in Julio's hands. He's going to give Julio the chance, and he wants to get Julio that title as long as
he broke
as well
Julio's
as
heart.
Exactly.
Mend the wounds.
It's time to mend the wound.
This is all in addition to Mike Evans and Chris Godwin, right?
That's
like
so
Julio Jones is your
gnarly.
third option, or Russell Gage is your third option.
Yeah, you might have Scotty Miller running like a flat, like
That's what I'm saying, dude. I don't.
So
this team
no
is just
more,
so stacked.
no more Bruce Arians now. They have a new head coach.
That's true. I don't think it affects it as much as it did.
Who is it? Todd Bowles?
Is it Todd?
Or not
Yeah.
Todd Bowles? Is it
Or
Todd
what-
Bowles?
yes,
Yeah,
Wait,
right.
yes, it is.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, new head coach. You know, is there going to be adjustments? Is there going to be hard? I don't think you really fuck around with the defense too much. You know.
no, dude. You.
Well, here's the thing: you have to think about how much was he doing? Because here's the thing: Bruce Arians is a great coach, but you've heard all the whispers about him and Brady not having a good relationship and them kind of getting tired of each other. And you got to think that Brady runs the offense. That's almost for sure. You got to think that
100%.
Brady runs the offense. Now you're seeing these things today coming out with the Miami Dolphins story coming out, where Tom Brady was talking to the Dolphins about ownership up until 2021 while under contract with the Buccaneers, which means that things were not peachy in paradise, where he's winning, he's got his title, he's got everything he wants, but clearly there was such a rift between, and then the rumor after Bruce Arians goes that Brady basically forced him out, and it kind of validates all of that. I think the news coming out with today is that Brady has kind of kept his options open in the background as far as where he could go. So you get a coach. Yeah, he's a businessman. And then you get a coach who's been in the system. I don't think there's really going to be too much difference. I mean, it might be a little bit of adjustment, but it's not like you're bringing in a guy from the outside, guy that was in the system. They're just promoting him. A guy that Brady likes, was he the offensive coordinator? Was Bowles the offensive coordinator or the defensive coordinator?
Probably, I think.
Defense. So I don't know. I would think that Brady probably is just going to play Brady football. So we'll see. Yeah. What's the schedule looking like?
Yeah, pull that schedule up, Andrew.
Super Bowl or
suck
bust.
up kicker. Don't forget that one. Yeah.
Man,
This
you're
is
such
the
a
other thing.
suck up to suck up. What's it? Well, okay, let's find the cheapest ticket. Let's find the cheapest ticket.
Cheapest.
Carolina, so far, no.
Atlanta
$62.
coming in.
Coming in at $62. That's at Atlanta
Be on the
though.
beach. Yeah. Man,
Dude, they don't really have.
Most expensive is Green Bay coming in week 3. That's going to be a good game.
yeah, him versus
That'll be
Aaron.
a very good
400. Look at that's got to be wrong, right?
That's a hard. Okay, so let's just talk about the schedule real quick. Okay, so
Kansas City.
the Buccaneers are a really good team, right?
It's a
But
9:30 in the morning game. Is that in? That's probably in London.
It's on NFL, so
maybe.
Seattle
up
is
later.
Seattle Bucks. I think are they a London game this year?
I have no idea.
Game played at
played
neutral location.
so probably. Or were they playing in Germany?
Or Mexico.
Is that the
Might be
Germany? Is that the
Or
Germany game?
Mexico. Could be.
So long story short, let's talk about this. I mean, like right out the gate, they're a good team, but what if they did lose to Dallas, right? On the road in Dallas, week 1. Then they lose. They probably don't lose to New Orleans, but that is a division rival, and Tom Brady has not beaten New Orleans as a Buck except for once in the playoffs. So
It's in Germany.
so hypothetically he's 0-2. 0-3 against Green Bay, 0-4 against Kansas City. They might not get their first win till week 5, hypothetically. Could you imagine the panic and shock in that locker room if they started off the season 0-4?
I don't think there'd be any.
They're definitely
with you.
winning week 1. They're playing Dallas in Dallas.
In
I
prime
know.
time.
I know it's easy.
Yeah.
I know it's easy to say that, but I mean, Dak's pretty good. CD Lamb's pretty good. Zeke's
They
healthy.
suck at home.
Well, they won't have Michael Gallup yet. They won't have. So it'll just be
No Amari
CZ.
Cooper. No Amari Cooper.
No Amari Cooper. So it's going to be kind of, and that's like week 1 with this offense. You just lost James Washington. They're going to lose that game. They're probably going to beat New Orleans. I'm sorry, but I mean, that's definitely a game they could win or they could lose.
Dude, I think they're gonna be fine. Even if they went 0-5 to start. Tom
Yeah,
Brady's gonna have that locker room.
Do
Okay.
you remember week
I'm
one
with you.
last year when Green Bay lost that game to the Saints? Week one, and everybody lost their Saints fucking smashed them, smashed by 4 touchdowns or some shit.
Smashed.
And they were just fine.
Smash.
Smash. Yeah,
On
exactly.
paper, is this the hardest schedule in the league?
I don't know.
This is a tough schedule.
Yeah, they definitely gave them their.
There's only a couple of gimmies for
Workful.
sure. Atlanta,
Haven't-
Carolina, Seattle.
LA, Baltimore. I mean, you're facing. Is it Baltimore at home?
Yeah, they'll play Baltimore at home.
Baltimore at home is rough. You have to go Cincinnati,
Mm-hmm.
Arizona. Yeah, this
You
is
have to be in
rough
Cleveland. Dog pound, baby.
This is
With Deshaun.
Yeah,
That
with
feels
Sean
good.
Beck.
That
Okay,
feels good.
I think this.
So they've
Bucs-
got the Bucks have the
They should have the hardest, right? Because they won the
no, they have the 7th easiest,
seventh
What?
easiest.
ranked easiest to hardest.
The seventh easiest.
They're 7.
Well, they get to
the-
play the Carolina
back
Panthers
half's not
twice,
very-
and they get to play the Falcons twice. And then
The
they
hardest
get
schedule is Kansas City this year, and then the Rams.
Gotcha.
But yeah, that game against Seattle's at Allianz State Arena in Munich.
Hmm.
It's the home of the FC Bayern football.
Oh,
Team.
nice.
Sweet.
But yeah, so they've actually the easiest schedule is the Giants and the Eagles. Browns are right behind Tampa at 8.
Sweet.
I feel like you guys are alluding to some of these NFC East teams. We've talked about Dallas. Now we're talking about Philly. I think it might be safe to say we might need to be thinking about next week. And
Yeah, I think we go back to
Where we're
AFC
going.
though. I think we got to go
We
back
gotta
and
flip.
forth. Yeah, I think we go.
you got to
let's do-
flip. You got to.
I think we do. I think we got to go NFC.
You guys have
AFC,
so
NFC,
much
snakes in
talk.
here.
Let's do
You got-
AFC.
Yeah, let's
You
do
got-
AFC East.
AFC East. Okay,
So we can
I'm
then
down.
do NFC East after that.
We'll do AFC East and then we'll do NFC East for sure. I like that.
That
So
is
we're
going
okay.
to be-
So before we wrap up this week's previews, what are our win totals? What do we think? What are we
Shit.
putting here?
13, 12.
I was thinking 12. Yeah, I was thinking like 13, 14, dude. Honestly,
13?
Like,
13.
Tell me
such
the
a big
losses.
number.
I'll go 12.
I know.
I'll
I
go
know.
12 to be safe. 12, yeah.
They'll
That's
drop
a
one
tough
to New Orleans. They'll drop to Green Bay. They'll
With
drop,
who's catching the ball in Green Bay?
That's dude. It's just
That's only
they're,
two.
They're gonna fuck up. They're gonna drop one.
I'm going
early.
You
14.
say LA.
Yeah, LA.
Nick's just keeps going up every time he keeps looking at the schedule.
I just
It's like,
counted.
12,
I go 14.
man.
I go
13.
14.
14.
14
Boy,
wins. I
they're
go
going
14.
undefeated. Tom, this is Tom's undefeated season.
Dude, he's winning
Still at
19
3
games.
still.
Yes.
They're fucking adding a game. They're gonna add a game at the end just to see if he'll lose, and he's gonna fucking win that one too. Like,
Yeah.
where it's just the fucking NFL All-Star team, and he
Tom's
beats
good.
them too.
Tom's gonna play on a Pro Bowl team and fucking win, and then go play the Super Bowl the next week.
They're gonna get to
Yeah,
January.
my
8th.
my final prediction: 14 games. I'm with Stuart. I think 14.
I think 12 or 13.
I
think
hate
they beat the Cleveland Browns. Obviously, I think they beat New Orleans both times. Cincinnati is a iffy game for me.
Okay, so Nick, you say they beat the Saints both times. That means you think that they go undefeated in the division.
I think they
You
go
don't-
undefeated in the division.
Ugh.
I'll
They
tell you this:
lose
if they
one.
do lose a game in the division, it'll be this Monday night game
Versus New Orleans in New
or-
Orleans.
In New Orleans,
Yeah,
or
I was
no,
thinking-
that's in
only shot.
Tampa.
Scroll back.
oh,
up
it's in
real quick.
Tampa. Yeah, it's in Tampa. You're right.
Sunday.
Maybe
No,
not. Maybe
week
maybe it
two.
is week 2. I might be with you, Jack. If they're gonna lose, it could be week 2.